Hare Krishna devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All goes Sri Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Devgiri Mataji, whenever you're ready, Nitya Mataji, whenever you can ready, you can start Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Hare Krishna all the devotees, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Narayam Namaskritte, Naram Chevam Narottaram, Devim Saraswati, Vyasam Tato Jayam Udhyate, नष्टे परमेश्वरे अब अभेद्रेषु नित्यं भागवतं सेवं भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्ति भवति नास्तिके. Today we are reading Canto. Today we are reading Canto 4 from 21 to 30. When I once came to this earth from Brahmloka, the highest planetary system, the daughter of time, wandering over the universe, met me. Knowing me to be an avoided brahmachari, she became lusty and proposed that I accept her. 22. The great sage Narada continued. When I refused to accept her request, she became very angry at me and cursed me severely because I refused her request. She said that I would not be able to stay in one place for a long time. After she was thus disappointed by me, with my permission, she approached the king of the Yavnas, whose name was Bhay or Fear, and she accepted him as her husband. One who does not give charity according to the customs or injunctions of the scriptures, and one who does not accept charity in that way are considered to be in the mood of ignorance. Such persons follow the path of the foolish. Surely they must lament at the end. Kal, Kal, Kanya continue, O gentle one, I am now present before you to serve you. Please accept me and thus show me mercy. It is a gentleman's greatest duty to be compensate upon a person who is distressed. 27. After hearing the statement of Kala Kanya, daughter of time, the king of the Yanvas began to smile and devise a means of executing his confidential duty on behalf of Providence. He then addressed Kanya as follows. The king of Yavnas replied, after much consideration, I have arrived at a husband for you. Actually, as far as everyone is concerned, you are inauspicious and mischievous. Since no one likes you, how can anyone accept you as his wife? 29. This world is a product of fruitive activities. Therefore, you may imperceptibly attack people in journal. Helped by my soldiers, you can kill them without opposition. 30. The king of the Yanvas continued, here is my brother pra- Prajvara. I now accept you as my sister. I shall employ both of you as well as my dangerous soldiers to act imperceptibly within this world.
Yeah, thank you so
Thus,
much, Nitya.
this end the Bhaktivedanta purport of the fourth canto, 27th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled Attack by Chandviga on the city of the king Prujana. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah, thank you so much, Nitya Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Sri Krishna Prabhuji, whenever you're ready, you can start, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Vairagya Vidya Nija Bhakti Yogam Sikshashtamekam Purusha Puranam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Sariradari Krupambadir Tamaham Prapadye Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So today we are continuing this section where Narada Muni is describing this story of King Puranjana. This is a allegory story where we are at this point where the whole city of this city, which is surrounded by 9 gates, is being attacked by Chandavega and his soldiers, and the king Puranjana could not understand that death is coming. So he will be forced to go out of the city by all these soldiers. So the five-hooded snake, which is the life hair, is trying to protect him, but it is becoming weaker and weaker. So now, in this situation, the Kalakanya, the old age, the Jara, who is the daughter of time, he's is approaching, and eventually the fear and eventually the mrityu also will come. So, and then he has to leave this body. So now King Puranjana, he had so many sons and daughters. He married all of them. He was thinking he was well situated under the protection, but all of these sons were plundering from him, and they are like thieves. So all of his treasury is being exploited. So eventually now so in the starting from verse number 21. So so the Kalakanya here mentioned as Durbhaga, or ill-fated. So because anyone who accepts old age, so all their senses gets deteriorated, and then eventually they become fearful, and then they have to leave the body. The body becomes completely invalidated. So now the the daughter, she was seeking a husband to marry. The Kalakanya here, the Narada Muni is saying that this Kalakanya, she was a woman who was seeking her husband, but no one agreed to accept her. So again, Narada Muni is very compassionately elaborating this allegory story in order to bring Prachina Barhi to the path of bhakti. Like right now he's in the path of karma kanda. So he's saying the fruitive activities, the whole purpose of life. Whole purpose of life is struggle for existence is happening, and he wanted Prachina Barhi to see visually in this story. So he's explaining like a woman who is searching for her husband. And this woman is Kalakanya, the daughter of time, is none other than Jara, the old age. So she is basically described as Durbhagati. Durbhagati is like most unfortunate. So nobody wants to accept unfortunate situations or most unfortunate person as a wife. So here it was mentioned like that, and then so now from starting from verse number 21, Narada Muni is kind of explaining who is this Kalakanya, how she came So now he's saying that she came from Brahmaloka. So from Brahmaloka, she came down. Now she's in search of accepting a um, husband. She came to Narada Muni. Narada Muni was a brahmachari, and Barhat Vratam Mam. So Narada Muni being a avowed brahmachari, she came to him upon being lusty. So Mohita, Kama Mohita. So now Narada Muni is Naishtika brahmachari from birth. He never got married, you know. And then upon the Paramahamsas and Sadhus mercy and Lord's mercy, he in the next life he become a great sage, right? So now Prabhupada is saying that a person like we should follow, like any brahmachari should follow in the footsteps of Narada Muni. So who never accepted the proposals of Jara. So basically, he never become victim of Jara. So therefore, all brahmacharis, they don't become old like a person who accepts, who is addicted to sex life. He becomes old very soon. So he's saying brahmacharis, they don't become old like the other people, and they use their energy for Krishna consciousness. So Narada Muni is ideal example. He never gets, because of his great spiritual strength, he could resist attraction for women. So in the verse number 22, Narada Muni continued. He's saying now he refused to accept Kalakanya, Jara, and then she became very angry and she cursed. And so Narada Muni was cursed basically to Statum Arhashi Naikatra. So even he would never stay in Nai Ekatra, one place. So basically this was also so Narada Muni being a Paramahamsa devotee, Vaishnava, he basically travels to all places. He tries to preach to people who are inclined to Krishna consciousness and then give them the message of the Lord. So naturally, he's inclined to travel. So so here Narada Muni in the this is the arrangement of Lord that he is already inclined, is doing all this traveling, for the purpose of the Lord, and he got the same curse also from Kalakanya. So there is no inconvenience in from the aspect of the curse here. So it is basically he is preaching the glories of the Lord in different places and different universes. He's always traveling. So in the verse number 23, so now the Kalakanya was told, Narada Muni told that, I cannot accept you. So she became disappointed. Now, Narada Muni gave her he gave the permission to approach the king of Yavanas. So the king of Yavanas, here the name was mentioned as Bhaya or fear, Bhaya. So it was mentioned here that Kalakanya accepted the king of Yavanas, Bhaya, as her husband. So Vavre Namna Bhayam Patim. So Bhaya, she accepted her as her husband. So here again, even though it's an allegory story, like Prabhupada is quoting that, Narada Muni being a Vaishnava is very compassionate. So it's very compassionate. And even though he refused to marry Kalakanya, he has given her shelter. Shelter meaning he told her, go and approach Yavana's king, and then you would eventually, he will accept you. So, so here Prabhupada is saying that if one can accept the instructions of Narada Muni, then the ocean of fear, Bhaya, can be very quickly removed by the grace of the great Vaishnava. So because he didn't accept Kalakanya, and Kalakanya is a wife of Bhaya. So Bhaya and Jara is very much intertwined. So the fear and old age and death, they're all very much intertwined. So here Prabhupada is saying in directly that if we can take the shelter of a great saint like Narada Muni, or in the lineage of Narada Muni, in the parampara of Narada Muni, there are many great saints. If we can take their shelter, then we can remove this fear, ocean of fear. So now the Kalakanya is approaching the king of Yavanas. So Yavana, the word Yavana is basically mentioned as there are many categories of lineage of people who are lower than the four Varnas. Like in the four Varnas, if you see Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, and below Shudra, who doesn't come into the Varnashrama system, there are many other categories. Pulinda, Pukkasha, Andhra, Yavana, Mlacha, like these are the categories of people. They have certain qualities that they don't come under the Varnashrama system. They're attached to a lot of sinful activities. Um, so Yavana is basically one of those categories. Um, Kalakanya is basically saying, uh, even though you are very low in the society, I am in love with you. I want to marry you as my husband. So, so basically, the Prabhupada is explaining that um, the Varnashrama system, if anyone who is inside the Varnashrama system, their life is centered around spiritual understanding or Vedic culture. So anyone who doesn't, whose life is not centered around the Vedic culture, Vedic rules and regulations, they get attacked by many diseases. They get attacked by this old age diseases, and because of not following the Vedic culture. So in the Vedic culture, he's also describing um, what how in the Vedic culture the person rises early in the morning, and then he takes bath. He just chant mantras. In the Kali Yuga, we chant Hare Krishna mantra, and then there is a deity worship. And then they study Vedic literature and they take prasadam. So like that, there is a Vedic culture that there is a systematic rules and regulations that in all of these people, not only Brahmanas, even Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, they all follow. But anyone who doesn't follow this culture, he is attacked by many diseases, and because of inhygienic way of life, they are attacked by old age, and eventually they get attacked by that fear and all. So here, Prabhupada is explaining that um, the daughter of Kalakanya, so the daughter of time, basically she could not overcome a Vaishnava. So is quoting an example. The Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, in his writing in Chaitanya Charitamrita, when he was very old, he presented the most wonderful literature about the activities of Lord Chaitanya, Rupa Goswami, and Sanatana Goswami began their spiritual lives at very old age. That is, after they retired from their occupation, family life, yet they presented many valuable literatures. So basically, Prabhupada is saying many great Vaishnavas, even though they were in their elderly age, from age perspective, they could be 70 or 80, but still they were able to write such wonderful literatures. They were able to do wonderful spiritual activities because they were not attacked by actual old age. Even though they were elderly, they were very much Krishna conscious, and they were able to take care of this Krishna conscious activities very perfectly. So that is the example Prabhupada is trying to say here. And the reason why is they were able to lead a Vedic life, with very devotional life, which is according to the Vedic rules and regulations. So here, Prabhupada is again elaborating that the Shastra, like how this six Goswamis, they were expert in reading all the Shastras and presenting the conclusion to the common public. Nana Shastra Vicharane Kanipuno Saddharma Samstapako. So they were trying to establish the Saddharma in the society. Right? So thus the effect of old age does not harass a devotee. This is because the devotee follows the instructions and the determination of Narada Muni. So here, so this is, I mean, everyone gets old, but then whether they are emotionally and physically attacked by this old age is what Prabhupada is mentioning. So the devotees, because of their consciousness, they're fully, they follow the Vedic rules and regulations. They don't get attacked by these contagious diseases and all that. And naturally, they don't suffer like an ordinary person. And they become, even at the old age, they perform extraordinary activities, devotional activities. Similarly, Prabhupada also came to this country at the age of almost 70, 69 and 70. And then he started the whole ISKCON movement. At the age of 70, he was traveling all over the countries. He was writing more than 80 books, and he was initiating disciples. He was directing them to construct temples. So many activities after 70 he was able to do. That means his old age was not like a normal person's old age. He was completely under the shelter of Krishna. So that is the point that Prabhupada is trying to explain here. Apparently, devotee may grow old, but he is not subjected to the symptoms of defeat experienced by a common man in old age. Consequently, old age does not make a devotee fearful of death. This is the point that he's trying to make. So there are many examples. Like there is one example that is common given. So when you see a tiger, and tiger is holding his cups, like the small tiger cups in his mouth, is not feeling any fear. There is the feeling of shelter. Even though devotees may look old and they are at the verge of leaving the body, but their consciousness, their feeling is not the same as the cups feeling, that in the mouth of tiger it feels shelter. Similarly, at the shelter of the Lord, they don't feel that the very excruciating pain of the material world. People who are attached to this material world, they will be feeling a lot of pain because of attachment, and they are going to leave the body. So death and the old age, all this physically and emotionally attacks the common man. But the devotee doesn't feel like that, because after leaving the body, they know their destination is going to be very blissful. And while living also, they are living a very blissful life. So in the verse number 25, now Kalakanya is telling to the king of Yavana, like, so why he should marry her. And she is giving the Vedic, Vedic way of accepting or giving charity. So he's saying one who does not give charity according to customs or injunctions, and one who does not accept charity in that way are considered in tamoguna. So she's giving this injunction so that the king of Yavana would accept Kalakanya as a wife. So So Prabhupada also is quoting that Bhagavad Gita 16:23, Yashastra vidim utrajya vartate kamakarataha nasa siddhim avapnoti nashukam naparam gatim. So, so Prabhupada is quoting verse here. Krishna also says that one who does not follow scriptural injunctions and according to he works according to his own whimsical thoughts, he does not get siddhim, perfection, na sukam, na paramgatim. He doesn't get happiness either. He doesn't get the supreme destination also either. So it is important to follow the Vedic injunctions. So, so here again, the verse number 26, the Kalakanya, she continues. She says, because I am present before you, please accept me and show your mercy. Dayam Kuru. And she is also saying Paurusha Dharmo. So he is the greatest duty of compassionate upon a person who is distressed. So he is glorifying that king of Yavana as a very gentleman. So now the Prabhupada explains that the Yavana king could have refused to accept Kalakanya, but he considered the request of and the order of Narada Muni, and thus he accepted Kalakanya in a different way. So now so here is Prabhupada is saying the injunctions of Narada Muni or path of devotional service can be accepted by anyone within 3 worlds, and certainly by the king of Yavanas. So Prabhupada is basically saying that in the Kali Yuga, our Krishna conscious movement, a lot of people who are not, who are not in the path of Varnashrama, like meat eaters, like even cow beef eaters, they are all considered mlachas and yavanas, like they are lower than the sudras. And they all actually come to Krishna consciousness, they understand the philosophy, they chant, and they gradually become very pure, and they become even gurus and acharyas. So that is happening in the Krishna conscious movement. So even Yavanas could, come to Krishna consciousness by the mercy of anyone who accepts the path of injunction said by Narada Muni is saying. So Prabhupada is turning this around and giving us that how Narada Muni could even give directions to Mlachas and Yavanas, and they could also benefit by coming to Krishna consciousness. So, and the verse number 27, the Kalakanya now started to smile, and now she is devising a means for executing. The king of Yavanas began to smile, and he is thinking of a means to executing his confidential duty on behalf of his providence. So now the king of Yavanas is addressing the Kalakanya. So, so here, in the verse number 28, the king of Yavanas is saying that as far as everyone is concerned, you are inauspicious and mischievous. Since no one likes you, how can anyone accept you as his wife? But so basically here, so here, King of Yavanas is saying that the Kalakanya or Jara is, it arouses a sense of fear, and therefore people. So here, the king is like Prabhupada says that best use of bad bargain, right? So Kalakanya was like a bad bargain, but no one could like her. But everything can be used in the service of the Lord. So that's the reason the king of Yavanas tries to utilize her for some purpose. So the purpose, so um, so so when the old age arrives, the invalidity of old age, all the senses gets deteriorated, and then there is a sense of fear, and then people, the common man, this is in the human form of life, at least the people start to think, what is the value of life, what is the purpose of life, what happens after death. So all this considerations happens, and then they start to think there is something beyond this body, there could be something beyond this body that is perpetually living, all those thoughts is evoking. So basically, by giving this jara and mrityu, there is a way for a person to engage in Krishna consciousness in the at least in the next life they can again start. So this is a purpose that king of Yavanas accepted Kalakanya. So in the verse number 29 and 30, basically that how in this world everything is people work on the fruitive activities, and they eventually those who are in the fruitive activities, they get attacked, and then by jara and baya, and then they can be eventually it leads to death. So that is the final 29 and 30 also. um, the here is the brother Prajvaro. So he's the king of Yavana's brother, and he's saying that he is accepting another sister, and both of them will work as soldiers to in this world to basically instill the fear of death in the minds of people. So Twamcha me Bhagini Bhaga. So here Bhagini means sister, Bhava Charami. So here again, those who do not follow the Vedic principles, and they live a life of unrestricted in sensual enjoyment, they get attacked by these soldiers. So now the Pravaraja, the word Pravaraja is very significant here. It's Prabhupada saying it means the fever sent by Lord Vishnu. Such a fever is always set at 107 degrees, the temperature at which a man dies. So it looks like when a person is leaving his body, his temperature becomes 107 degrees. And so here Prabhupada is saying that Yavana Raja's brother Pravraja and Kalakanya was invalidity itself, combined and strengthened by the soldiers of Yavana Raja, who basically non-hygienic conditions, illicit sex, and ultimately a high degree of temperature to brings the death, mrityu. So it all starts with the verse number 29. Basically, it's all start with fruitive acts, kama vinirmitam. So fruitive activities, karma vinirmitam, manufactured by fruitive activities, lokam. So anyone who is working in this world for fruitive activities, they will be you will have to attack. You will imperceptibly attack people in general, helped by my soldiers. So this is what the conclusion of the discussion between Kalakanya and the king of Yavanas. So Prabhupada is also quoting that this verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, Nunam Pramarta Kurute Vikarma Yat Indriya Priti Apnoti Na Sadhu Manye Yato Atmano Ayam Asana Api Kleshat Asha Deha. So people who are without this knowledge of spirit soul, they are mad after this materialistic activities. they perform out of this madness all sinful activities just for indriya priti, like just for sense gratification. So he's basically saying, according to Rishabhdev, such activities are inauspicious because they force one to accept an abominable body in the next life. And again, they are subjected to threefold miseries, and they have to, again, it gives them pain, and then accept another body, and ultimately old age, disease, ultimately death. So the conclusion here is every living entity is a spiritual being, and consequently, without spiritual advancement, the human form of life is ruined. So by this allegory story, Narada Muni is trying to say that how the old age and death kind of grips, and then the fear evokes. And for anyone who doesn't follow Vedic ritual, injunctions and Vedic rules and regulations, he gets attacked by the contagious diseases, and all this kind of chain reaction happens. And ultimately, the person has to accept another body. That is what he is trying to convey to Prachina Barahi. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Hare Krishna Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.